Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from 5 group. It would like to present about material, and the title is survey. Then our team is Pramitasari, Fachrizal Althaf P, and the last Rangga Tuwuh J.
Okay, the first is, what is survey research in quantitative research methodology? Survey research is a quantitative method whereby a researcher poses some set of predetermined questions to an entire group or sample of individuals. Survey research is an especially useful approach when a researcher aims to describe or explain features of a very large group or groups. This method may also be used as a way of quickly gaining some general details about one's population of interest to help prepare for a more focused, in-depth study using time-intensive methods such as in-depth interviews or field research. In this case, a survey may help a researcher identify specific individuals or locations from which to collect additional data. The next is the types of survey. First, it is time. In terms of time, there are two main types of surveys, cross-sectional and longitudinal. Cross-sectional surveys are those that are administered at just one point in time. The surveys offer researchers a sort of snapshot in time and give us an idea about how things are for our respondent at the particular point in time that the survey is administered. There are study of older works mentioned previously is an example of a cross-sectional survey. They administered the survey at just one time. The second is administration. Surveys vary not just in terms of when they are administered, but also in terms of how they are administered. One common way to administer surveys is in the form of self-administered questionnaires. It means that a research participant is given a set of questions in writing to which he or she is asked to respond. Self-administered questionnaires can be delivered in hard copy format, typically via mail, or increasingly more commonly online.
Designing effective question and questionnaire. To this point, we've considered several general points about survey, including when to use them, some of their pros and cons, and how often and in what ways to administer surveys. In this section, we'll get more specific and take a look at how to pose understandable questions that will yield usable data and how to present those questions on your questionnaire. Asking effective questions. The first you need to do in order to write effective survey question is identify what exactly it is that you wish to know, as silly as it sounds to state what seems so completely obvious. I cannot stress enough how easy it is to forget to include important questions when designing a survey. Let's say you want to understand how students at your school made the transition from high school to college. Perhaps you wish to identify which students were comparatively more or less successful in this transition and which factor contributes to students' success or lack thereof. To understand which factor shape successful students' transition to college, you will need to include questions in your survey about all the possible factors that could contribute. Designing questionnaires. In addition to constructing quality question and posing clear response option, you will also need to think about how to present your written question and response option to survey respondent. Questions are present in a questionnaire. The document either hard copy or online, that contains all your survey questions that respondents read and mark their response on. Designing questionnaire takes some thought, and in this section we'll discuss the sort of thing you should think about as you prepare to present your will construct survey question on a questionnaire. Or perhaps it would make more sense to present any question we had about pre-college life and habits and then present a series of questions about life after beginning college. The point here is to be deliberate about how you present your question to respondent.
The strength of survey research in quantitative research methodology. Survey research tends to be a reliable method of inquiry. This is because surveys are standardized in that the same questions phrased in exactly the same way are asked of participants. Other methods, such as the qualitative and quantitative approach interviews, do not offer the same consistency as that offered by quantitative surveys. This doesn't mean that all surveys are always reliable. A poorly phrased questions phrased question can can cause the respondent to deal with its meaning differently, which can reduce the problem assuming assuming a well constructed design and questionnaire. One of the strengths of the survey methodology is its weakness of survey in quantitative research methodology. As with all methods of data collection, survey research also comes with a few drawbacks. First, will one might argue that surveys are flexible in the sense that we can ask any number of questions on any number of topics in them. The fact that the survey researcher is generally stuck with a single instrument for collecting data. Surveys are in many ways rather inflexible. Let's say you mail a survey out to 100 people and then discover, as responses start coming in, that your phrasing on a particular question seems to be confusing a number of respondents. At this stage, it's too late for a do over or to change the question for the respondents who haven't yet returned their surveys. When conducting in-depth interviews, on the other hand, a researcher can provide respondents further explanation if they're confused and can tweak their questions as they learn more about how respondents seems to understand them. Validity can also be a problem with surveys. Surface questions are standardized, thus it can be difficult to ask anything other than very general questions that a broad range of people will understand. Because of this, survey result may not be as valid as results obtained using methods of data collection that allow a researcher to more comprehensively examine whatever topic is being studied. Enough for our group. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.